blaming the program.
Yeah. No, so like it probably can do what I want it to, but it doesn't because I don't use to
Yeah, I do. What do you want us to do?
I said don't get hurt.
What?
Don't get hurt.
I'm not getting hurt. I have this camera. I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm not getting hurt today. Watch somebody like this. They're first going to do this. Plywood. Swing down like that.
Alright, you guys, I need a representative from each group.
I don't.
Yep.
You want to stand on it? Yeah.
I know that you guys are going to do your strategy together with all the other
Yeah.
the team alliances. Now, when this is down, when the first robot gets on, is this going to hamper the other teams from using that side? Or they're going to do the same side?
I would assume so because I mean, if you look at the video that they posted,
Right.
it's not playing right now. It used to be playing on loop. I think this is pretty much exactly like the design in the video, so I would assume that's true, even if it's not a written rule. I mean, I guess that's the only way it could be.
Any side you go with,
Yeah,
if you
blocks
block the
that
side up,
completely.
it's going to be too high for anybody to come from the side.
I see that. I mean, maybe there will be bigger flaps in person, but it would seem that way.
Station all set.
Can I see if this is live?
Yes.
So we'll go up to like this. And then go.
Now, you can get on this side, but nobody can get on this side.
Yeah, but then once he built up the
Once we're up, then we can lower it for our teammates, right? Because that way we can go over here, so lower it for our teammates on this side if they need to.
Okay, so here's a fun idea.
It's on push.
So here's the fun idea. Right, let's say station over here. Right, what happens is instead of going all the way around, we just go over, right? It's just right to the community.
That'd be very nifty.
There was a black coming.
The butt is
that's just the strategy.
Yes, if we are capable and it is faster, then it will be faster.
And plus, we'll be putting it at speed. So if someone's holding it down,
So at the beginning and the end, you're going to be on the platform.
Yes.
On the autonomous, you're going to go on the platform. And at the end, all three of you are going to be on the platform.
Very much.
Now, another point. You're on this side, and you can use a ramp to track it.
And because our drive base doesn't have enough, you have to have a bumper that's like about 3 inches, so you can't really go straight onto it. So we're having this intake also serve to push it down. I go bring this model back to you.
see the screen.
Are we good here? Can we see it?
Where's your tie at? Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you guys come have a seat? You'll want to get up here close by so you can see well. And we'll just, we want to get everybody seated. There are tables with handouts on them. There are things up here you can see. And if everybody could kind of make their way up here, we have several things lined out for you. And I'm not the show tonight. Mr. Adoga and your superintendent will be here to tell you a few things. So I'm going to give the microphone to. Oh, that's. Let me know if you need me to turn anything down on the system here, because I have the system kind of loud.
All right, beautiful people.
You need an introduction and a microphone, and right now, I have the microphone. My name's Gary Thayer, and I am so lucky to just get to help out
Gary's
Mr.
a star.
Jay Adoga. Give a big hand to the leader of robotics at Montgomery High School, Mr. Jay Adoga.
So you guys can all tell that Mr. Thayer he's a game announcer. So at our competitions, you guys will get to hear the wonderful voice of Mr. Thayer. He is actually the lead mentor Miss Carmen is now the lead mentor for the robotics team. So if you guys have any questions, you know who to contact. Contact Miss Carmen. All right, so brief welcome everybody. And thank you guys so much for coming out. And those of you who are online, I know there are people who are online, so those of you who are online, thank you so much. I just emailed out a link which you guys will be able to use to vote for your favorite robot, hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right, so, no, you are not up. Not yet. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh. All right.
We were having trouble with this, and now it's, goodness.
What do I do?
Do we have a robot joke?
How many robots does it take to plug in all
Take all the robots.
We don't know
Get
because
the
we
big
haven't
one.
programmed them yet.
well, this is what I did last time, and it came back. Nope, we're back to that.
Here's the wing it.
All right. So this is awkward.
I'm good to speak.
Okay. So I had it was a funny joke about introducing the new principal new superintendent because I was trying to figure out how to pronounce your name. And I looked up I actually searched on YouTube and I found several videos, and one of them was just a bunch of kids saying your name wrong, and I was like, well, that doesn't help at all. And then in another one, you didn't even say your name, you just started talking. And so then finally, I just went with a Jack in the Box. There was this old Jack in the Box commercial where he couldn't say Chipotle, and he just kept saying all this. In any case, I found out. It is Michelle Kuss-Cybula. And welcome, and why don't you come up, because we'd like to welcome our new superintendent, and we'd like to thank Oak Harbor School District for all of their amazing and gracious support of our program.
I am impressed that you looked up how to say my name, because it is a tongue twister. So a lot of times people go, and just Michelle. So Kuss-Cybula, so Kuss is German, and for you students, it means kiss. And I didn't know this until I got married, and I was teaching in New York, and I worked with a colleague who was from Poland. And after I got married, she goes, oh my gosh, that's so creative what you did with your name. I said, hyphen? And she goes, well, that's what it means. And I go, Kuss means kiss. And she goes, no, but Cybula. And it's pronounced Cybula in Polish. And it means onion, so kiss onion, that's so clever. I was like, oh. Too late to change it. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to be here. And I hope I'm wearing purple, but I have to tell you, my last robotic competition was at Mount Vernon High School with the Seahome robotic team. I'm sorry, but it was like a concert. So the robotic competitions are amazingly like a crowd pleaser. And I drug my whole family. And I just love the energy and the creativity and the passion and the unique culture of a robotics competition. So for families that are new to it, it's an experience of a lifetime. And so I know one thing that the Seahome students told me when I was a principal at Seahome High School in Bellingham was that you have to know our number. You have to know what the number is. So that's my goal, is to memorize. Is it 5290? Oh, I'm so wrong. 2980. So I'm off to a bad start. But anyway, I'm here tonight because I want to talk a little bit about our upcoming bond. But I'm going to quiz you because some of you have been, you probably know my presentation by heart. Poor Dawn, I think you've heard it 7 times. So I'm going to do a little pop quiz. Does anybody know what the difference between a bond and a levy is? Yeah.
Bonds are for building, levies are for learning.
Yes! Bonds are for building, only building, and levies are for learning, like the arts, music programs, extracurricular activities, mental health, nurses. Those are what we use levy dollars for. Bond is for building. Does anybody know the difference when it comes to elections on a levy versus a bond?
Supermajority.
Yay, supermajority. So for a bond, Washington State is one of 11 states in the country where you have to have a supermajority. So you have to have 60% of your voters approve it in order to pass the bond. And the state doesn't build new schools. The communities build new schools. And a levy which is learning, is 50% plus 1 vote. So 50% have to approve plus 1. So there's a huge difference between bonds and levies. And typically, a district goes out for a bond every 20 years. Does anybody know the last bond that we passed? Dawn, do you know what it was? It's this, the high school. So the high school bond we just paid off in December, so we are debt-free as a school district because this bond, 20 years ago, our community came out and supported the vision for this remodel, this high school. So we are living legacy here that 20 years ago, people that lived in this community supported the bond for this amazing facility. So we are going out for a bond. And does anybody know what it is? Valentine's Day. So as you're thinking about going out to dinner and doing something romantic, don't forget to put your ballot in the mail on your way out to do something romantic. So Valentine's Day is the day of our bond. So I want to talk a little bit about what the bond is. I started education 33 years ago in public education, and I've been in Oregon. I'm a New York native, so I started in New York teaching, Oregon, and then Washington. And I have to tell you, I've never seen the funding that we are getting from the Department of Defense in the state here, ever in my career, and that's 33 years of public education. So I want to talk about what that looks like. So the Department of Defense has allowed us the opportunity to partner with them to access 80% of 2 of these 3 elementary schools that we're talking about. So 80% is a pretty good deal. They're not going to give us 80% worth of a building money up front without matching funds from the community. So 80% of 2 buildings, and then the community, we're asking 20% of that. And then the state has said, we'll give you 7% of the 3rd school, but you have to tear down one of these buildings because it's no longer replaceable or remodelable. Remodelable, that's a new word. Can somebody Google me and look that up? We're going to make that a new word. So remodelable, so to be remodeled. And then the other thing was, many of you gave us information when we sent out a survey and we asked for your input on the bond. So all summer long, when I came new here in July, I asked many people, tell me about the bond. In February of last year, we went out for a bond and it failed, pretty miserably actually. And there was other schools that were high needs also that needed to be rebuilt on that bond project. But our community said loud and clear, it's too much money, we're not ready for that, and you need to narrow your focus. So that's what our school board did, was they took all that information that we collected, gave it to the school board, and they said, narrow the focus, we're gonna make some tough decisions, even though we have 2 other elementary schools that are very aging and need either complete remodels or new buildings. They took them off the list, the bus barn off the list, and we now have these 3 schools. So I'm gonna talk about what these 3 schools are and the need. So we have a lot of kids in temporary portables, and when we surveyed our community, there was concerns about portables. So how many of you have, I'm going to talk to the parents, how many of you remember potty training your children? Just cover your ears. It happened when you were little. Potty training. And when they're in kindergarten, sometimes kids have accidents, or preschool. We have programs, preschool and kindergarten, where some of our kids are out in portables and they have to make their way through the building into the bathrooms because our preschool classrooms are not equipped with restrooms in them. And so we have lots of programs that we have outgrown the schools and we've outgrown the needs, and our programs have increased through the state unfunded mandates and unfunded initiatives. So it's like building a house. If you build a house and your septic plan is for 2 bathrooms, and suddenly you have 14 bedrooms and 19, I don't know, in-law suites on your property, and your septic tank hadn't changed, nor had your kitchen, that's kind of what we have at our elementary schools. We've outgrown those. So I want to talk about, not only do we have 26 temporary portables on our elementary campuses, our facilities are aging. So, there we go. I'm going to talk about the last project to be built on this bond initiative. It's the last project, but I want to start first explaining what it's all about. So this summer, when we went out and listened and learned, we also heard from many people in our community about things that weren't working within our system. And I think when you go out and you talk to people, you have to be willing to say, yep, we need to own that, we need to do better by that. And one of the things was the confusion over field space. So in our community, we don't have enough field space for our kids. And we need our kids to be healthy and active and engaged. And so our Fort Nugent site, the district invested over 40 years ago, property here, and we've been allowing the city to use that for soccer fields. But what we heard from our community was, where are those fields going if you're putting a school there? And so we worked really hard with our city and the soccer league to say, well, we're gonna develop a plan, we're gonna work with the city and partner with them so that we owe that to our community to replace outdoor field space, so we're gonna do a better job of that. So we've been working with the city on that, and this is one of the reasons why this is the last project to be built. It's the third project because we have to finalize a couple things we're working through right now. So this building would be at the front of the site on Fort Nugent Road, and another nice thing about this bond was we received a grant from the Department of Defense a couple years ago where we did a comprehensive feasibility study, which allowed us to do traffic control, it allowed us to do a traffic study, it allowed us to do a geological study. So we tested soil samples in all the area of where these 3 sites are gonna go. And we also did schematic designs. And so we have 60% of the buildings all of the buildings are 60% ready to be done with architectural design. So that grant allowed us to actually do all that work. And usually when a school goes out for a bond, you use all that money in the bond, you use the majority of it to start doing the things that we've already done and got grant money for. So we're really excited about already being through that process. So where do we get money for the Fort Nugent site? Oak Harbor Elementary has 3 buildings on the property, and they are 3 aged facilities, 1934, 48, and 83. And unfortunately, in the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s, our building material ends up being now building material we're not allowed to use in buildings. So we have sealed a lot of the material that no longer we can build with, but we can't dig into the walls to remodel it unless we do an entire building abatement, which at this cost, it's too much. So the state said, we will give you money for the south building, which is in green here, it says potential community fields. That south building would come down, the historic building, and this building, which is a creatively named Building 83, because that's when it was built, those buildings remain. And unfortunately, those are not 2-story buildings with lots of classrooms that are adaptable to the use of our students right now in our facility. So these buildings would be partnered with the community for some early childhood programs. So we're really excited about partnering with our community for some early childhood opportunities. So 7% of the new site at Fort Nugent would be coming from that building that comes down, and it also opens up more fields for us in the center of town for our field space. The other site is Crescent Harbor, so this one gets 80% Department of Defense funding. We get to get kids out of portables and under one roof. And the other nice thing about this is the building gets to be built while school is in session, and when the entire building is done being built, we get to tear down the old building. So there's no loss of instruction for the elementary students, which can be quite impactful, because if you were a teacher here at the high school, or a parent whose older child might have gone to this high school, kids were constantly being moved, and in fact, the freshmen and sophomores had to be bussed out to hand-in-hand home connection site for many years during this project. So all 3 of these building projects, there's no loss of instruction. We get to build them and then tear down and put all the students in the new building. So this site, the other nice thing about it, it goes to the back. It's still on federal property, which is part of the Department of Defense grant funding. And it has a lovely ocean view in the back of that property, which is kind of nice. And it also opens up more field space at the front of the property. Our other one is hand-in-hand home connection. Also, it has 80% Department of Defense funding. Right now, it is on military property, but not in a very good spot. It's in a flight path area, and so we've worked closely with the military to get it off the site and be relocated to Regatta. And so Hand-in-Hand is a very busy program. How many of you know about Hand-in-Hand Home Connection Virtual Learning Academy? So we actually have 3 different schools within a school. We have preschool. We'll have 270 preschool students, because we've had to add another portable. That's 270 preschool students that go to that site. We have over 200 students that are home connection, and then we have Virtual Learning Academy. So this site serves students in preschool through age 21. So pretty remarkable. So this site would be moved to Regatta, also on military property. It's above OVE, so Olympic View is here. And then it gets moved up where the military property is. The other thing, how many of you have parents, are parents that drove or drive or have kids at Olympic View right now? No, how many of you drive by there when it's dismissed? The traffic is insane because when we built a lot of these schools back in the 40s and 50s, we didn't account for all that traffic. So right now with all of our plans, we have separate bus and parent pickup and drop off so that we can get our buses off the road and our parents off the road to not block traffic on all of these. So that was the comprehensive study that we did. So the new site is 2 stories. It also opens up a couple more preschool classrooms, so it gives us the ability to have more classrooms in this building. So how much does it cost? It's all about money. So with a bond, we are going out for $121 million, and we can't ask for any more money. So if more people move in or you have increased in assessment on your home value, there's an increased assessment, we don't collect any more money than $121. So the bond that was just paid off, it started at over $2 when we went for this high school bond. We refinanced it along the way, saving over $4 million to refinance, and we ended in December with $1.54 per 1,000. So this bond starts at $1.24 per 1,000. So it's 30 cents less than what we stopped paying here in December. So for every dollar the community gives us with the bond, we get 96 cents match. So think about that for a minute. For every dollar we get from the community, we get 96 cents match. And that's because of the Department of Defense 80% and the 7% from the state. So a couple people on our tour this summer, when we asked for feedback, were not aware that you can do tax exemption for senior citizens or widowers of veterans or people that are disabled. So there are tax exemptions, and I know my mother-in-law lived here in Oak Harbor, and we helped her through a tax exemption as well. So this works. The people are nice. You can call. You can go online. The other thing is I want to talk a little bit about data. Last February when we ran the bond, we had over 23,000 registered voters. Only 8,000 cast their ballot. Out of the age group of people that cast their ballot, the majority of people who cast their ballot were under 30. So our teenagers that could vote, we got quite a few 18 and above come out and vote, and anybody 55 and older voted. So if you think about our school-age parents of school-age children, that was the least amount of voters that turned out in that election. So it's February 14th, so if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm very honored to be here tonight and be able to speak about the bond. Any questions? They passed the test? All right!
I will skip the joke video. All right. So I wanted to take a second, and I'll make this very quick. Very quick. I don't even know how to click this. Okay, good. All right. So since the last time you guys were here for a design competition, we've done some pretty incredible things. We sent 8 First Lego League teams to the Lego League competition. And that's my team right there. Let's see, we built a walkway for a family that had wheelchair access issues, and the kids went out, and that was our first time pouring concrete, and we did a great job pouring the concrete, and then the cement truck ripped out the main power line going into the house. But that wasn't on us, that was on the cement company, so there you go. We hosted Lego camps, and we're hosting them again. I believe they are does anybody know, Booster Club? When the Lego camps? What?
Not Mother's Day.
Apparently they're not on Mother's Day this year, so you guys don't get a weekend off without your kids.
I do!
All right, we built new garden beds and workbenches for the greenhouse. Let's see, our menstrual equity initiative. This is really cool. The robotics team has been supplying menstrual supplies in all of the classrooms so that young ladies don't have to miss school, which happens a lot. It happens more than it should. And I've been told that the supplies given by the school district are uncomfortable. So that's why they're using ours, which is, yeah, so there you go. We started it's called Unified Robotics, and it is for individuals that are in our life skills programs. And so we went out and spent the day in the life skills class at North Whidbey Middle School. And we're going to keep doing that. That's going to become an annual thing. And then we're hoping to host a Unified Robotics First LEGO League team in the near future. We built a tricycle for JoJo. This is JoJo. She's got a neurological, what is it? It's a neurological disease, basically. What? Yes. So basically, she's slowly losing control of her body. People in her condition, situation usually don't live past what age?
I've forgotten.
But she just had her 7th birthday yesterday. And thanks to these wonderful kids, she got to ride her motorcycle again. Unfortunately, she's been in the hospital for the past couple of months, but we're hoping she gets out and she gets to ride her bike. The kids went down to the Tiny Home community. Tiny Home's the name of Christ, down in Langley. Something that they don't know is the average volunteer for that program is in there. I think they said the average age of the volunteers is 59. So our kids were well below the average for volunteers. And they're going back on Monday. So they're going to spend Monday volunteering, helping out, right? Yeah! I think they're still looking for rides. So parents, if anybody can drive them down there, that'd be great. And so there's so much stuff that these kids do in the community, and that's one of the things. So our business plan is actually that we just do nice things in the community, and then we ask for money. And so far it's worked. But you know, always doing the nice things, because robotics is expensive. Okay, so this year's game is called Charged Up, and we have a really brief animation that should show you about the game.
I'm just nervous about how loud the volume is. So I'm coming over here by the machine.
We make robots.
I think we're going to survive.
Welcome to the 2023 FIRST Robotics Competition game, Charged Up, presented by Haas. 2 alliances of 3 teams each compete to score cubes and cones into their grid to charge up their community. The alliances earn additional points if their robots are docked to or engaged with their charge station. Robots start each match in their community and may be preloaded with either 1 cube or 1 cone. Each alliance may choose where to stage 4 additional game pieces. During the first 15 seconds of the match, robots are autonomous. Without guidance from their drivers, robots score preloaded game pieces, collect and score additional game pieces, and are docked to or engaged with their charge station. Charge station points earned during auto count towards a potential activation bonus. The grid has nodes specific to cones and cubes, and some where either a cone or cube can be scored. During the remaining 2 minutes and 15 seconds, drivers control their robots. Robots continue to collect cubes and cones from human players at their substations to deliver power to the grids in their community. Each community contains 3 grids. The center grid is the cooperation grid. A link is a line of 3 game pieces scored on the same row. Completing enough links earns the alliance a sustainability bonus. If each alliance scores at least 3 game pieces in the cooperation grid, the sustainability bonus threshold is lowered for both alliances. Robots are protected within their community and loading zones. As time runs out, robots race to their charge stations. Alliances earn points for each robot docked to or engaged with the charge station. Earning enough charge station points earns the alliance the activation bonus. The alliance that earns the most points wins the match.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so here are some important terms. You guys have those at your tables. And so now we're going to bring up, which group is coming up first? Which group is that? Stretch. Okay. Yes, the other group should be out in the hall.
So if you are not presenting, students, you can go wait in the hall. We will come fetch you when it is your turn.
I'm William. I'm a junior and I've been on the team for 8 years.
I'm Valerie Gertis. I'm a sophomore and this is my first year of robotics.
Hi, I'm Mason Everhardy and this is my second year of robotics.
I'm Nora Solenstall. I'm a freshman and this is my first year in robotics.
I'm Michi. I'm a freshman and this is my first year of robotics as well.
I'm Savannah Hutchinson. I'm a freshman and this is my first year in robotics.
I'm Elena Locklear. I'm a freshman and this is my second year of robotics.
And this is our robot, Stretch Armstrong.
Wow.
Okay, during the autonomous portion of the game, we hope to score 1 cube onto the high growth cooperation grid, as well as dock onto the charging station to hopefully get at least 18 points.
In the teleop period, which is the driver controlled, our goal is to continue storing cones and cubes onto the shelves and the nodes, and starting in the cooperation zone so we can lower the number of links we have to get a ranking point. And in the end game, we're going to dock and engage the charging station and make enough room for our other 2 alliance partners.
For our drivetrain, we will be using Swerve, which is really fast and allows us to move at nearly 12 feet per second. Swerve is also very easily maneuverable, and it allows us to drive in all directions and to make minor adjustments out on the field very easily.
That happened. Okay. There are some setbacks to using Swerve Drive, like a lot of things breaking, like 3D printed gears, and the fact that it limits us to basically forward motors that we're left to use. Yeah. There you go.
So for our lifters, we'll be using a linear slide, which is, oh what the heck, which is this thing right here. Linear slides are very reliable, which is why we've been using them for years. They're very fast and precise, and they're very easy to build as well. Here's, what the heck?
Well, there are some disadvantages, such as they are easily breakable.
Not like this.
Not like that. Usually we have them secured down to the frame or something else. So they don't break like that. Usually.
They also have unequal weight distribution.
For our gripper, we're going to use a suction cup design with a vacuum pressure thing. Some of the, which allows us to attach onto both the cones and the cubes. Benefit, we can store everything in the game on any level of the grid. Some of the downsides is that we need some sort of backing pressure to attach to the cubes, which is why we've designed some mechanism wheels to spin in the opposite directions, essentially throwing the cube onto the suction cups to help it attach onto it. Yeah. So.
Cone. You can see that as long as we attach it vertically, it has quite a good grip on it, and you can really wiggle the cone around quite a bit, and it does not detach. So it's a good hold. And also, if you wanted to include some pliability in your arm and you go at it from above, it can pick the cone up from a point away from you or point towards you method pretty easily. And this would also allow you to place it on the posts. Yeah, you'd probably want to turn the vacuum off instead of chucking it. It also will work for cubes. Something to note is that since the cubes are so light and floaty on the carpet, it might require something of a backstop for the vacuum to actually hold. As you can see, it's just pushing it around, but if you put your hand behind it, for example, and give it a little bit of force, it will hold it just as well as the cone.
So yeah, that is why we have the mechanical wheels, to throw it onto the suction cup so that it will actually stay up.
And when we combine all of these elements together, this is our plan for what our robot should look like. Thank you for your time.
Something that I want to point out, one of the students that was up here, Savannah, she joined the team last week. So, like, she just got here. All right, Censored, you're up.
Hi, I'm Aljan Torres, and I've been on the team for 2 years.
I'm Boston Simonson, and this is my first year.
I'm Ivan Perez, and this is also my first year.
I'm Tristan Nuanes, and this is also my first year.
I'm David Nashido, and this too is my first year.
I'm Antonio Rogers. I honestly can't remember how long I've been here.
I'm Jack Rafferty. This is my 4th year.
And I'm Branson Turner. This is my 3rd year on the team.
And our robot's name is Censored.
Okay, so our main goals for a robot were to achieve maximum efficiency and achieve both the sustainability bonuses, pick up any game piece from any orientation, and to balance on the charge station.
Drive base. Our drive base has split bumpers. It's an open drivetrain, like an H, and it uses swerve drive. Next slide. Swerve drive is superior. Swerve Drive can move in any direction, including turning in a circle. It uses these two motors to allow it to both turn and drive straight at the same time.
And onto our intake. This is basically the staple of our robot design. The main function of our intake is to passively align cones that come into our robot. So any orientation that the cone is sitting on the floor, any direction we come at it from, it will be oriented to one known orientation so that we're able to place it onto the poles very easily. And it can pick up cones off the floor very quickly, almost instantaneously, I would say. You can basically just run them over and have them inside of your robot to do with as you please. And here is a video on YouTube of the concept that we were inspired by to make our intake. You can just play through like a few seconds of it. So as you can see, cones that are upright will be flipped down and taken in, and flipped right up to be facing upright in our robot. Cones that are on their side will be flipped in as well. Cones that are facing directly in at us will be flipped around twice and go in just like that.
Wow.
And basically, any orientation that the cone can be, any direction we come at it from, it will go into our intake. So you can stop the video now. We've seen pretty much all there is to see from it.
This is cool.
So our claw. What's cool about our claw is that it's actually a 4-bar mechanical system, and that's very easy and very reliable to use. And our claw is also able to pick up cones and place them at a 45-degree angle, which is going to make it a lot easier for us to score accurately, as well as it also speeds up our cycle time.
So since the intake provides us with cones that are guaranteed to be vertically placed, we don't need a really complicated claw, and that reduces our liability for failure.
Our lifter design mainly relies on linear slides, which we've used a lot in the past. They've been quite effective since they're really fast when built right. It uses a motor to attach to a string that retracts and extends the linear slides when need be.
Now, after telling you about our robot, we'll tell you what we intend to do with it. During the autonomous period, we will place the preloaded piece that starts inside of every robot. We will attempt to place a cone on the top row of scoring positions for 6 points. The mobility score is super easy to get. All you have to do is drive outside of the community and you get 3 points, basically for free. And we will dock on the charging station for 12 extra points. During the teleoperated period, we hope to be able to score 10 game pieces, or maybe even more, during each of our matches. And that would score us an average of 32 points, depending upon where on the scoring area we place them. We would strategically place our pieces in order to get links, which is those sets of 3 in a row, because those will go toward the sustainability bonus, which when 5 links are scored anywhere on the scoring area, you get an additional ranking point, which is very important.
During endgame, we would dock the robot on the charging station, giving us an additional 10 points, And we've also tried to get an activation bonus, which is when a total of 26 points is scored on the charging station from the whole alliance that you're on, giving you a ranking points.
We'll also try to get the cooperation bonus. The cooperation bonus is when both alliances score 3 game pieces on the cooperation grid or the middle.
In conclusion, our main game strategy will be to go for links as much as possible so we can gain that extra ranking point. The main staple of our robot, like I said, is our intake because it will allow us to pick up cones from any direction. We prioritized cycle time and have a theoretical best case scenario cycle time of 13 seconds. And our entire robot was designed around efficiency from the very beginning, taking as many pieces as we can. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions?
No, no questions yet.
No questions yet?
Okay, great job, you guys. So next up we have Atlas, the robot. All right. Before Connor is one of our Dean's List nominees. And Connor had his Dean's List interview Wednesday, and he said it went well. So, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, we are Atlas. I am Connor.
I'm Kamisha.
I'm Jack. I'm Gee.
I'm Aristy. I'm Haley.
I'm Julian.
I'm Kimber.
I'm Jonathan. I'm Eddie.
So for our drive race, it'll be 3 feet by 2 feet extrusion drive race. And it'll also be a swerve drive. So that means it has wheels similar to a shopping cart, so it can go in like all crazy directions. And it is also really easily replaceable and can move around the game field smoother.
Alright. So, this is our funnel. And it allows us to pick up cones from any given position on the field. And my friend's about to give a demonstration here. See, it's a work of genius, really. Basically, it allows us to put the cones in one of 2 guaranteed positions, from which our lifter can bring it up and place it very easily. Also, if you look at the bottom of it, it's actually a pretty simple design. So if we wanted to optimize it by adding belts or other ways of speeding up the intake, it'd be very easy. But on the lifter, or claw, sorry.
Okay, so our grabber, it's a grabber, essentially. It is a passive grabber that uses bearings and pieces of wood, so that when it squeezes the cone, it will always stay upright due to the weight of the bottom. Yeah, that's our lifter.
Okay, so our lifter is 2 singular arms attached to our grabber, and what they do is that they swing backwards from the funnel and then use linear slides in order to extend to all different height nodes. So the overall capability of our robot is that its design allows for it to pick up cones at any angle, no matter if it's on its side or if it's upright. And the funnel allows us to push the charging station down. That way we can dock more easily.
So we got this cool robot. Well, what the heck do we even do with this thing, right? We got the game plan. We got the game plan. What? Okay. So our robot can pick up cones off the floor from the single substation very easily, which reduces cycle time, making our robot faster, more efficient, all the good stuff. Our robot can also place cones from on the high nodes, which gives us more points overall. Our robot also specializes in cones, and there are more cone nodes than there are cube nodes, which is awesome. That's good. We like that. That's what it is.
Thank you. That is our presentation.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have all three teams come back in together. They're going to set up their posters around the room, and we are going to give them 10 minutes to share with you guys and for you guys to ask some questions and stuff like that. All right, so you guys have 10 minutes to share your ideas, bring all three teams in, set up your posters.
All right. Where are we staying at, Connor? Thank you.
Okay, so while they're setting up their posters, we're just going to give you guys a little heads up on how this is going to work. So we're going to give them 10 minutes for you guys to mill around, ask them all the questions, have them show you all the things. After that 10 minutes, we're going to kick the kids out, and we are going to start voting. So the way voting works is we're going to have their three posters, and we're going to ask you guys to line up in front of the poster that you are voting for. Okay? And then what you guys do is you guys start making trades. So like you guys can trade things. You can say, all right, I will trade our drivetrain for your gripper, and we try to get a consensus. So we try to get everybody in the community to agree on the same robot. All right? Okay, so you guys have about 10 minutes. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. You have 10 minutes for anybody who wants to get everybody up, walk around and ask the kids questions.
All right.
Why don't we have the third team come over here in this corner?
Guys, be friendly, be inviting for Jax. Hi, would you like to hear about our robot? This is Atlas. Like we said, we have a very nice drivetrain. Essentially, we can hear electric chair. Never mind. Okay.
How many points do you expect to get in manual?
Oh, what? Sorry. Gideon, how many points do you get in Telly? They are all Telly individually, which allows us to turn points. We're saying that we're not going to be able to really thought of it. And then the other nice thing about drivetrain, it takes us like 2 seconds to get there. Those are mounted seconds. We have our 2x1. Let's say about 10 seconds to go there. It allows us to just get this and take it out. Which compared to the other team's drivetrain, they're mounting it on themselves. So we kind of have to make it last year we had a lot of problems with getting it.
You can ask. We don't have to go in pairs. I don't know what I'm asking.
You don't know what you're asking?
No.
So when you do the 3 on, there's I think a cube on each one or a circuit, right? So you have to do, with that, do you think that that everybody's going to go for cones? Like, there's really not like it's not like, hey, you do this. I mean, it's really what they bring to the table, right?
Well, so you know who you're going with beforehand, and you can communicate with them.
No, I know, but what
beforehand, and so you can be like, okay, what can you guys do? And if they do cones better than we do, then we do cubes. But if we do cones better than them, we do cones, and they just focus on cubes as much as they can. It's all game strategy.
And then they weigh about 150 pounds. They're like,
All right, what do you think about that one? Yeah.
2 by 3. 2 by 3. 24 by 36. I think. Yeah. Is that right? Yes, I think so. That's what this says. Which one does Izzy like?
Otherwise, they're expect as you travel through this distance. No, quiet from once you get up that initial
Oh, yeah. Well, not to a super steep degree, but basically the higher you go, the more points you get, right? And then, of course, the more nodes you get, the more points you get. Basically, our side is the highest node.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the. Do you have any questions? Well, thank you.
Did you guys all wear pants?
Yes. Yes, I was like, oh, let's do oversized ones. And so I had it right.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so these are yeah. So if you have this here and you grab it here, because the cone is bottom heavy, it will act.
It's just it's not meant to be.
Yeah. Which this can also hit. They have a so one of the teams is playing. Okay, I don't know about
We all have different ideas.
yeah, so they're all very different. Yeah, Mr. Adoba wants us to have 3 different designs, so that way you guys can choose what you guys want.
Antonio, how big is your base? So I think it's not. Well, I gotta clarify if that one's really 2 feet.
We're having an argument
Alright, beautiful people! Alright, everybody! This is so awesome. This makes me so happy. I love the questions that I'm hearing. I'm hearing questions. I'm hearing thoughts. I'm hearing growth. I'm hearing the community. Alright, kiddos. Let's see, we have one poster there, one poster there, one poster there. All of my young ones, out you go. Goodbye. Okay, so here's what I need. I need one community member who is willing to volunteer for Atlas. We need one. All right, we've got one community member for Atlas. Mason, out you go. All right, I need one community member to volunteer for Censored. All right, over here. Okay, I need one community member to volunteer for Stretch Armstrong. Okay, over there you go. Okay, so here's what I need. I want you guys to make your first choice for robot. All right, and this is just your first pick. And I want you guys to go stand by the poster that you choose. Okay, so here's what I need. I need the people who are volunteering representing their robot. I need you guys to get a head count. 15. Okay, so Atlas has 17 and a half. 17 and a half. Oh. All right, Censored has 18, Atlas has 17 and a half. So, here's what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to talk amongst yourselves. And I need you guys to see what you guys can do to convince the people from Stretch Armstrong to come your direction. So, for example, you could say, hey you guys over here at Stretch Armstrong, your frame is practically the same as the frame on Censored, so maybe you guys would like to go over there. Or you guys can say, hey you guys, our intake, I don't know. You can say whatever you can say something about your gripper, you could say something about whatever, and you can be like, you guys should come over here. Yes?
He wants to know why we can't convince them to come here.
Well, because you guys So here's the deal. You guys didn't have enough people, but you guys can sell parts of your robot. So you guys can say, hey, if you guys take our suction cup doohickey majiggy, we'll go over to your group. Right? So you guys have some power. You guys can say, we can swing this one way or the other if you guys, court us properly. All right, you guys, so talk amongst yourselves, and I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. You can also do that. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to do your thing, and then we're going to line up again.
That one has this one has the phone. Yeah, it's just not how to do the phone.
All right, you guys, walk around close to each other. We're going to line up again in 4 minutes.
But it is how it is.
No, honey, you're convincing.
You should. Praise the little boys over there because he was like, cool.
The same, but that one doesn't say the phone is right. That's the other direction. This one, different direction.
Yep. We have the superintendent.
These are the kids right here that are making all the money.
Yeah. Thank you. That's why we need to vote.
They haven't shown us You're right.
No, I'm trying to steal votes. Yeah. That's what I
They might be narrow. They're like long, but they're narrow. Shrink to the train day size. 24 by 30. Bigger is better. 28. Bigger didn't show that part. No, bigger is not better. We have a big maximum start, and I don't want to fix the max. So this one, only 2 from there. Yeah. And that one's like 2 times 2.
So when we're all done, we're going to go back in and we're going to
More shrink if you guys come over here.
Where's your husband? Mr. Courtney's dad. Can the back mechanism shrink to the 24 by 28? It is that size.
So this one is going to be on a basis probably more narrow and longer than.
I think it is.
So you guys got 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Because with Swarm Drive, it's
The primary limitation on both sides
gear ratios are so low, it takes a longer time to get up to speed. And you have
one of the problems with their designs are the clicks are very low to the ground. They have great
the goal
drive on
any
it.
strip is just avoid any contact.
Yeah, but not so long
So the
that
lighter
they actually get stuck.
So the lighter your
What's the base size for your robot?
because the goal is to avoid being
You guys, you have about a minute.
What's the size?
It doesn't say.
Maybe it will because they got their own sizes, so they can work, I guess.
It's 28 by 24. It is. I asked 3 times. It's a 28 by 24 base.
This one,
Yes.
28 by 24?
I asked the kids
That's
over and
24
over.
by 28.
This one's 24 by 28 as well. They're
Yeah,
the same
because they're the
size.
same.
That one's longer. It's by 36.
And they're giving out strawberry Twizzlers.
Oh.
Strawberry Twizzlers.
Strawberry Twizzlers. That one is the one that goes by 36.
All right, you guys, we're coming up on 10 seconds. Do we have one holdout at Stretch
Then we should go there.
We do?
Yes. Over here, sir. Which way you going? Where are you going? Over here. Which way are you going?
All right. Okay, so I need the volunteer at censored. Okay, we got to count to 20. It's censored. What do we got over here?
Wait, 21.
Are you sure? Count again.
Stretch arms.
Stretch. 21. 20. 22. Okay, so I do have some news. Our online poll, we now have 5 votes. We have 4 for censored and 1 for stretch arms. All right, so what you guys had 20?
22.
We have like 24.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this group or is that group?
No, they're over here.
Nobody move.
Okay, so it's 22 plus 4.
I was just
You
going to
guys
say,
are
we're going to do
26.
old school
What do you
kids
guys have?
version.
21 and a half, I think I said.
How do we get to a half?
Tiny people.
That's fair.
22 and a half. All right, so censored, it is yours to get. here's what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to convince them. What will we take from the censored robot to get them to come over to you guys?
Their gripper.
Your gripper. Yeah, the gripper.
Okay, so if they took your gripper, what are your thoughts?
That's a good take.
So my biggest hang up with that robot is it's big, bulky, and heavy. The biggest benefit for swerve drive is being fast and nimble, and so the lighter your robot, the more effective it's going to be. The best uses I've seen for it are things like 3223 Manhattan Robotics in 2019 and Jack in the Bot. Those robots were very light, and they were able to outmaneuver every other robot. The drivetrain is not very strong. If it comes into contact with any other drivetrain, it's going to get pushed around. It doesn't matter the driver, it doesn't matter the drive team, it doesn't matter what else is on the robot, it's going to lose a pushing contest. Against kit parts, against pneumatic, against anything except.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We're trying to pitch here. You need
This robot is significantly lighter than it's ever going to be. This one's going to be able to circle around.
Okay, so
why is this lighter than?
Yeah, why? We didn't talk about it. So if we want to negotiate.
If we want to negotiate, so.
Well, how do we know how heavy this one is?
All right.
Because it's the same drivetrain.
Yes, it's the same drivetrain.
Same drivetrain.
Yeah.
So it's lighter here than there.
That's what I was just going to say. How do we actually
thank
know
you
it's
for
lighter?
asking the good question.
Yeah, how is that one lighter?
And how do you know that we're not building off of lighter material?
So that robot has a lot of scaffolding. There's going to have a lot of scaffolding and framing to actually keep the linear slides at that angle and keep everything supported, which is going to add weight to the robot that this robot doesn't need to have.
So if it changes the gripper and adopts that gripper, doesn't it change the need for the angle?
Okay, so
it's
we have.
use the scaffolding for the entire lift.
Okay,
not the
so
gripper for the
a couple things. This one has a rotating arm, and the intake folds down to fold the charging station / teeter-totter down. Okay, this one has the framed intake thing that aligns the cones and telescoping slides. Okay. I would say they are similar. Okay, so they're willing to take. So you guys are willing to take their gripper.
What comes off of this if we take the gripper?
Your claw.
The telescopic claw thing, right?
Yeah. Well, wait,
So
hold
lifter
on.
and gripper are different.
Are you guys talking about the arm and gripper, or are you talking about just the gripper?
Just the gripper.
So what comes off of this for us to take that? Because something comes off, right? Something comes off.
both
of this.
robots
So you're
are
talking
running.
about this? The gripper?
Yes.
Yes.
So both robots are running swerve. Both are running some kind of like orienting mechanism on the front that orient all of the cubes and the cones into a particular orientation when it gets into the robot.
Right.
And then the only real difference is this one has the swivel arm, and that one has the angled telescoping slides.
Mm-hmm.
So the inherent flaw in the telescoping slides that your robot has is it's going to add weight to your robot, which is going to slow down any cycle times, and it's going to make the robot less efficient overall. The design this has is going to be faster, and it's going to be able to run circles around other robots.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw robots that had to
True that this robot will not do cubes, it only does cones.
No,
No,
it
they both do both.
does both.
All right, so they both do both. Okay, so the real debate is a swiveling arm versus linear slides. Right? Yeah.
Yes. The linear slide, how's that activated? Is it like
So it's
arm?
a motor with a motor, the pulley, and it pulls the pulley and it extends the arm out, and then it's got another pulley, so it pulls when the motor goes the other way, it pulls the arm.
Is it a chain or like a rope?
It is a rope.
But it's heavier.
The scaffolding that has
By
to
how
support
much?
the angled.
What's the weight difference we're
Hold on,
talking
you
about?
guys. Okay, so in terms of weight, here's what I will say. We have no idea. The weight limit is 120 pounds, 125 pounds total for either robot. FRC we're usually pretty good about meeting our weight, either which way. No, we
I don't like Swiss cheese.
Okay, we have always met weight before competition, except for our first 2 years. And you weren't here for the first 2 years.
No, I wasn't, but it's not usually.
Okay, yeah.
So, the swing arm, how's that activated? Is it
Swing arm is a motor with a chain going to a large prop.
That seems a little heavy.
It's pretty severely scaffolding required to support your
Okay, wait, hold on, we've got a question. Yes. Linear slide.
That seems to be broken.
The biggest, like, speak was that it was, the robot was slow.
All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to give you guys, all right, so I want to get you guys out of here on time. So I'm going to give you guys another 5 minutes. Here's what I need you guys to do. 5 minutes, and I want you guys to actually mingle, actually talk, and then we're going to line up again. You got 5 minutes. Go. Everybody mingle. You can go back over here when you're done.
Okay, good idea.
It's simple. Yeah. Less things to worry about.
It is.
It doesn't.
Weight is kind of a non-issue.
He's lying. He's lying. He's lying.
Because no matter what, the kids will add whatever they want, and right when they get to 124 pounds, they'll stop. And it doesn't matter.
Some lights and some smells and whistles.
And
Camera, it's a GoPro.
Oh, we have a solution to that. We take all the pieces in and we drill lots of little holes.
get more air. Oh.
No.
All right. All right, you guys, so I need everybody to go ahead and line up again. Now line up wherever you are now, wherever you're voting for, go line up there. All right, I need you guys to take a head count.
I gotta go back to my robot. Or back.
All right, Marcus, take a head count. Okay, you guys take a head count on this side. Who's counting on this side?
Yeah, quarter points. You both, hey, quarter points. Yeah.
They're coming here.
No! No, we needed quarter points.
And then the cone rides around. It needs a ride.
Yeah, we just do 5 times and watch 5.
It's also a double
Yeah.
All right, so what'd you get? 23. We've got 23 over there. What do we have over here? 23. Oh my goodness.
What do you guys vote?
All right.
On this side or that side?
Okay, so if it helps, Logan Ince voted for censored.
Logan's just wrong.
All right, so let's see. We have responses. Okay, so we have 23 and 23.
So you're
We have an additional 4 for censored online. Okay, so all right, you guys. So here's the question for everybody. Okay, Atlas people, could you guys live with censored as a robot? I mean, are you guys just like, if we're not building Atlas, then we're taking our stuff and going home? Is anybody there? All right, so you guys, so everybody here could be okay with censored. Okay, yeah.
Was it a given that the gripper could be moved to that?
We're getting there.
Okay.
Okay, censored. Is anybody here, if I were to be like, that's it, I choose this one, is anybody here gonna just like, that's it, I'm done? Okay, good. I need to know that. I need to know. Okay, so is there anything that you guys would be willing to take from Atlas?
We already decided to steal the gripper from them.
Okay, so they're willing to steal your gripper. Okay, anything else? Anything else from that robot design that you guys think might work out over here?
I think everything else is pretty similar.
Okay, so the only thing that's different besides the gripper and the arm, right? So both robots have a way of lifting the things up. Both robots take things in and sort them and get them to a known orientation. The only thing that's really, well, okay, so there's a couple, besides those things that are different. The only thing, the getting on this, right, they're planning on using their thing to push it down.
Yeah, how are they getting on the ramp?
Okay, and this one is just planning on driving at the ramp like full force and hoping.
And is the power the same?
Okay, so.
Can I share something that I think I heard between the teams?
Yes.
The point of the 45-degree angle there is that you're going to come onto that pole with a 45-degree cone so that it hits and then drops easily, right? The point of this gripper is so that you always know what orientation your cone's at, and it's always vertical. So you kind of lose some of that.
Okay, so if you guys take their gripper, then you lose the orientation. So are you guys okay with losing the orientation?
Well, this also doesn't we did take the effort that recognized defeats the purpose.
No, we have to Frankenstein.
Okay, wait, hold on, I've got a question. All right, I'm gonna do some horse trading. Okay, what if they swapped out their like fancy do thing for this thing and that thing? Would you guys be willing to go over there?
What would be left of there?
There would be the linear extension.
What is the best one for us to win?
Okay, here's the deal. If I say anything, then what happens is we get to competition and it's completely wrong. Which is why I don't say anything. So we just leave it up to the will of the community. So, would you guys be willing to take this part and this part? Well, that is not any more structurally sound than this. They're both pretty much the same.
This whole thing is
I think sensitive might be worse.
No, but if you're getting rid of, if you're taking the gripper, then the alignment system doesn't matter.
Mr. Doga?
Yeah.
So my question is, if something breaks down on the lifter compared to what this robot has, what's the pivot? What's the repair time? Like, so is this going to take more time or less time?
Usually it's the cable that extends the gripper snap, and they replace the cable. And with this, it's a whole host of other, like the chain pin break, stuff like that.
So almost the same.
They're almost the same. Okay, yeah.
We won't be home on time.
What the difference was? That's nice. I don't know why people think we're on robot time.
But it will have less complications.
Okay. So, can I ask you guys to take their doohickey-majiggy and the other doohickey-majiggy? Can I ask you guys to do that? Would you guys be willing to do that?
Sure.
Okay, so, alright, so, can we, alright you guys, so, can we take this part and that part? And then we'll just take everything else off of that robot?
Yes.
Are you guys okay with that?
I think we're good.
Alright, so you guys like the intake?
Then that does change the intake, which was part of the plus.
However,
Listen to the people around you on your team before you go to the other team.
Okay, should I give you guys another 5 minutes?
We have one question, Mr.
Oh,
Doyle.
we got a question. What's up?
and then it could ride around with the cone on top.
You know what? I'm sold.
Okay. So that's how you do it. We'll see.
Okay. Can we put it on top?
I don't think you give me.
You need to go sell.
Okay, I'm gonna go mark.
It's almost linear slices. So if they were using any other drive, if they were using parts, even texture, I would always be going for that one. But this one's just better designed for this.
And it doesn't go down.
So this one's part of it. So this one goes down.
I don't know which one's easier to fix when you're at. If you keep the massage.
I think they're going to need something.
But I don't think that's how he actually convinced this group. This group and that group were very convinced.
So it starts off and then they share like a third play and if you change the beat up and so the idea is that it's supposed to be up while you're driving around and it's down here so you pick it up.
It is definitely more. I am biased, so.
No, engaging is touching it versus being on top of it.
And it's just going to be 60
It has a fairly large balance. As long as you're okay, they're not going to hurt. If they hurt it, it needed to be. If they hurt it, it needed rebuilt. Hey, yeah, because we're gonna have a 125-pound robot crash into it.
Alright, you guys, we're down to 2 minutes. So you guys really need to sell them on this, or you guys need to sell them on this. Somebody needs to sell somebody. Yeah, I saw that. It's Piper, Captain Piper. I haven't seen him. I just to remind you guys of, the robots, where they acquire game pieces, they are protected. You're not allowed to hit them in the loading zone or the community. All right, so if you're worried about something getting hit and broken, unless they have it out of the robot as they drive across the field, then it should be in the robot and protected. All right? Okay, so that was the 5-minute timer. Can we go to our prospective owners and take a count and see if anybody moves?
The center of mass. Does nobody think about the center of mass?
No. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there was 1 year when we did that, and we almost did not have a team at the end of that. Yeah, it was horrible. And yeah, no, that was like the worst thing ever. Okay, so can we get a count on this side? Yeah. So what do you guys have over here?
I got like some change in my center console.
All right, so what do you guys have over here? What's your count? So it's 19 to 23. All right, well, that's part of it though. You got to stick through it. You got to stick through to the end. All right, you guys, so we have 19 to 23. Okay. Good catch, thank you. Okay, so before we lose a finger to the teeter-totter. Okay, so 19 to 23. Okay, so what? 21 to 23. All right, you guys. So here's the deal. I am not seeing much movement. We are running out of time. And I am getting desperate. Okay, so. Okay, so here's I will tell you guys about what happened. So a couple years ago, Gary ran design night because the kids told me that I had to stay out of it. They said that they thought that I had too much of an influence on design night. So I said, fine, I'll stay out of it.
Oh, that was terrible.
And Gary ran design night, and at the end of the night, the community had not decided between two lifting mechanisms. And so, we went into CAD week, which is next week, where we get on the computers and we actually draw the robots, and we draw all the parts, and we figure out all the mechanics, and we figure out everything. And the team got into this massive argument, and we ended up with these two different designs. And at some point, someone said, well, you guys never listen to the women on the team. And the guys were like, we try to listen to you guys all the time, but you're wrong in this case. And then a bunch of the women were like, we're leaving the team. And then a bunch of the guys were like, please. A bunch of the guys' parents were like, please never let my son be alone in a room with that girl. And then it just turned into this whole horrible thing. And it was horrible. And we had to get rope. And whenever the kids got into an argument, we had to tie them together and make them like argue it out before we'd untie them. It was wonderful and horrible, and we ended up making.
There was a lot of growth.
That was a horrible year. It was yes,
it was
thank
growing
you.
year.
It was a horrible year. So we really. It doesn't matter if it's a mix of 5 different robots and 3 things that they didn't even come up with. I really don't care. But when we send the kids out tomorrow, we really need to say to them, this is what you're building, and you need to make that thing work. Now, it might be that they go running down this road, and 2 weeks from now they realize that that doohickey doesn't work, and they can't possibly get it to work, and oh, here's this thing, and they just pull it out and stick it on the robot, yay, everybody's happy. Right? That might be the case. But they need something concrete to start with for tomorrow. All right, so.
Okay, so I just want to say that 2 of these teams chose the same lift concept.
No.
Yes, they did.
Same lift concept?
Yes, the sliders, the linear.
Oh, sorry.
No, we're talking about what the kids thought. 2/3 of the kids thought this was the lift mechanism they agreed with. So if we really are indifferent and we're really about, look, we trust these kids, the majority of the kids were picking this concept. What we have been debating about is the intake, and I think we're more willing to compromise on those things, but they kind of had a vote in their own way by choosing a very similar lift mechanism.
So 1/3 of the kids were innovative in trying a new design.
Maybe.
Okay, so.
I have to disagree.
Yes.
I have a question. Why can't we just flip a coin?
We can.
Yeah. All right, does anybody have a coin? Okay, so apparently we have a coin. We have a coin. All right, you guys, since you guys have more people, you guys call it in the air.
Hold on.
Oh.
FGC, both of their robots had linear actuated lift mechanisms, so they are very versed in building those.
We've also built arms in the past.
That was very heavy and very slow, and teams didn't want to work with us because it was very slow.
Exactly, which is fixed with this design.
With linear slide, if the arm is up, it's moving, it will tip and it might fall. That is one of the problems with linear slide.
Okay, so.
That's why we have a line of cones.
Where you put the kids who compete. I'll go where you do.
Wait, hold on, what's up? Can you please make a robot?
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, we
One-way
can.
robot.
But not right now. Oh, wait, hold on. Not right now. Hey, can you give me 10 minutes? Okay, all right, so here's the deal, you guys. For the lift mechanism, you guys are linear slides, you guys are rotating arm, I'm flipping a coin. Since you guys have more people, you're going to call it in the air. Heads. Heads it is. All right, so it's an arm. Okay, it's an arm. So that's basically it. Are you guys okay? Is everybody all right? Nobody wants, all right, it was a coin. You guys saw me flip it. Okay, so we're going with the arm, the rotating arm with the okay. Thank you. Do we have a robot now?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Intake.
are we agreed on, hold on. Okay, so we've got this intake that folds down, that pushes the thingy down. We've got that intake that does the flippy do with the coin.
Can we combine the two intakes?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we combine the two intakes?
That's a yes. Why not?
How does the combined intake work?
They're very similar.
They're accomplishing the same thing in
It only
similar
goes in
ways.
one. So can that one be altered to? But this would help with that. Can we make them put the intakes together? So this pushes that down.
Do we know that helps?
You're getting the height of this, or the
Well, you've already got the rotating arm.
That's what I'm saying. If we're taking the intake,
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Take that intake. Right, like an errorless intake, but with this part to push that down. But we don't need it if we have their drivetrain.
That's right.
We all have the same drivetrain. Don't we know height? Their drivetrain's a little high.
It's the same drivetrain, there's just different dimensions.
They'll be the same dimension.
Okay.
They solved for it by the height.
Okay, so are we flipping a coin for the height versus the intake, or are we flipping a coin? Are we not flipping? Are we done flipping coins?
Take that in.
All right, they're willing to take your intake. Are you guys good?
Yep.
All right, let's bring the kids back in.
We're already having that. We're already using that.
Oh, wait, hold on, sorry. all of you guys' designs. We actually ended up coming down to a coin toss to make some decisions. So the way it looks, the way I'm pretty sure things are, is we are using the intake off of censored, and the idea of lifting the frame, which can also be accomplished with that one. We are using the arm mechanism for placing the game pieces and that gripper, and that gripper. Okay? Alright, so it's kind of a Frankenbot like usual. Alright, so tomorrow, kids, you guys know tomorrow we are starting at 1. The room will be open at about 10 when Mr. Thayer and I get here, but we're going to be working on breaks. Yes?
What are we naming the robot?
Alright, since the robot has an arm, the robot will be named Stretch Armstrong. Thank you very much. Alright, you guys, some of my favorite people are here. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for coming out. Here's the deal, everybody. Here's what I need you guys to know. In 6 weeks, February 21st, we are going to be meeting again, also from 6 to 8, in the sub. I believe we're going to have coffee and desserts, and the kids are going to show you the robot that you commissioned them to build. All right, so with that said, thank you guys so much for coming out. Kids, I need you guys to clean up, move everything back to the classroom, and Miss Carmen needs your lab coats back. Thank you guys, thank you so much for coming out.